both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Chicago Bears. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. A nice throw there for the first down. And this is a big moment for this young man under center. You know, he's had a few months now to get acclimated to life in the NFL, but you got to think, a little extra pressure here, right, CD? I mean, you're getting the start on Thanksgiving in front of the national audience.
Especially since you and I both know he's watched this game since he was, 4, 5, 6 years old and dreamed of playing in it. In fact, his family sent us some of those videos of he and his family in the backyard playing their Turkey Bowl games themselves. So now he's gone from the backyard to the big stage, and here he is.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 35-yard line.
Out of the gun, Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity? And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
58's Mike, 58. 58's Mike. Bring it. Bring it.
Now Kaepernick operating on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It'll go as a sack and a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 2nd and goal. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Swift. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
On 2nd down, Swift. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys.
Touchdown! It's complete. DeAndre Swift, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. the touchdown. Here's Seibert now to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance when you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround. The first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you plan on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you. It's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey, and pumpkin pie. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on third down, Fields. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Kaepernick. Got his man, it's Williams. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up for the 1st and goal.
They'll run with Swift. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. Swift again, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. DeAndre Swift with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions add on to their lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions touchdown. Seibert on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Back to the air, Fields on second down. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes, so when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Oh, dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Space to run past the 20. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here's Swift. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. following the touchdown. Here's Seibert now to kick it off. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now here's another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times. Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Kaepernick now on first down. Open man is Raymond. He's got it. That catch good for only a couple. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. Williams brings it in. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 37. Seibert's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. He was solid on the field goal, but not as solid on the kickoff there, and that'll put him at the 40-yard line to start this drive. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
To throw is Kaepernick. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan. So these two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 28. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. They'll try and run here with Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. They're going for it. It's Kaepernick. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down, and the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's William Golston there who fought his way in to make the play. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Fields. He finds his man. Complete. That's Grant.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A shotgun snap, Fields. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Charles Harris drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown, Detroit! Tyrell Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Seibert now to kick this thing away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first three quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
First down, Chicago.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. Over the middle, complete. That's Graham. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Here's Fields. And that's complete to Jesse James. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Let's go, Mike 42.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
First and goal, Chicago.
All right, D, let's all right, D. Hey, check Mike 34. Mike 34.
Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. It's a foot race. He's at the 50. The 30. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The return from his end zone is Grant. And this will not be a good return. He's out of bounds at the 12.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And off comes to Montgomery. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Detroit, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.